Alright, y'all, it's your boy John. We have another reaction video today. ESPN First Take reaction.
All right, so here we go. Today we debut our series Bubble or Nothing, a look at the bubble teams participating in the NBA restart at the end of July. 22 teams, 22 days. We start with the Washington Wizards. They sit on the outside of the playoffs in the 9th spot, 16 games under 500 and 5.5 games behind Orlando for the final postseason spot. Bradley Beal leads the team in both points and assists. Bad news for Washington. No John Wall or Davis Bertans in the bubble.
Y'all see this? Bradley Beal averaged 30.5 points per game. The first since Allen Iverson with 30 points per game and missed playoffs. Wow.
Jay Williams back here with us. Stephen A., I'll start with you. Do the Washington Wizards deserve a spot?
Do the Washington Wizards deserve a spot? Hell no. That's a waste of time. Molly, ooh, look at you, girl, with a tan.
Hell no. I mean, please.
That's right, Stephen A. Smith. Hell nah.
You're 16 games under 500. You're 5 games back. Okay, as far as I'm concerned, I don't think them or the Phoenix Suns deserve to be in. And I say that respectfully because I love my man Monty Williams, and I'm a huge Devin Booker fan. But you 13 games under 500, you 6 games back of the 8th seed. As far as I'm concerned, it should have been 20 teams instead of 22. That's just me. And then I look at Bertans being gone. That's a 15-point per game scorer. It's pretty much been the Bradley Beal show, who's had very little help as far as I'm concerned. We could do without the Wizards, but I mean, if you're into more basketball, I get it, the merrier. I'm just talking about folks that I think legitimately have a shot. I guess mathematically you can look at it. You 5.5 games back of the 8th playoff spot, so they give you a chance, just like Phoenix is 6 games back, so they're giving you a playoff chance. But in the end, considering the coronavirus pandemic, considering our concerns because of the multitude of bodies that's going to be there, which obviously makes you more susceptible to catching the coronavirus because you're around people or whatever the case may be, that would be 2 less teams to be worried about at this particular moment in time, and everybody else would be within 4 games.
Why waste your time? Be in a bubble, be isolated from your family. Why waste your time if you're not even gonna be a competitive team? Be home and be with your family. But again, I know the NBA is a business, great revenue, they want to make money. But damn, I feel bad for the Wizards.
With the exception of San Antonio, everybody's within 3.5 games. I think that would have been plausible. But again, I don't mind seeing Bradley Beal because he's a stud. I know there's some people, I got some loved ones in D.C. that hate on him. They don't appreciate him nearly as much as they should, and they know who the hell they are. But
whoever don't appreciate Bradley Beal, shame on you. And I don't think Stephen A's statement is true. Like, a lot of people from DC appreciates Bradley Beal because he's stuck up for the team, He's carrying this team.
But outside of Bradley Beal, I ain't thinking about the Washington Wizards until John Wall gets back healthy and paired with Bradley Beal so they could be a playoff team again. Outside of that, as far as I'm concerned, I wouldn't have had any problem whatsoever.
John Wall's trash. He's the most overpaid player in the NBA. Like, come on, bro. And he's getting old. Let me look up John Wall contract. And how old is John Wall? Let me look it up. Yo, John Wall's 29 years old, okay? He's 29 years old. And he's getting paid $38 million a year. Next year, he's getting paid $41 mil. 41 mil, bruh.
However, if they were home in the nation's capital getting ready for the presidential debate.
Yeah, I'm in D.C., and I would have no problem if they were home also, but it's 2 different questions. I think you're right that if they would have left them home for safety reasons, that's okay, but the question is, do they deserve to be in the playoffs? And it's not their fault they're in the East. I think they deserve to be in the playoffs. They're technically the 9th-ranked team.
What? The Wizards are the 9th-ranked team?
Right now, and they're only 5 games back, and everything's changed up now. If they can stay within 5 games, get within 4 games, then we get a play-in situation. It's not their fault that they're in the East and in this bad, not bad, but this kind of top-heavy conference. I think that they deserve a spot.
That's when you know the East is so weak. They're standing right now at 24 and 40. 9th in the Eastern Conference. That's when you know the East is weak. I'm rooting for the Bucks to go to the East to represent the Eastern Conference. It's basically between Bucks, Raptors, and Heat, I think.
But the question is, do they deserve to be in the playoffs? And it's not their fault they're in the East. I think they deserve to be in the playoffs. They're technically the 9th-ranked team right now, and they're only 5 games back, and everything's changed up now. If they can stay within 5 games, get within 4 games, then we get a play-in situation. It's not their fault that they're in the East and in this bad, not bad, but this kind of top-heavy conference. I think that they deserve a spot in there as long as all those teams in the West. If we're not going to break it up, I know at one point there was discussions of breaking up the division of conferences and just put everybody in. Had we done that, I could understand maybe leaving them home, but right now it makes no sense. It does appear that maybe they don't even want to be there when they kind of gave Bertans the permission essentially to not show up. It seems like they don't have that, at least the Wizards management don't have that much confidence in what this team can do, and I can understand why they don't, considering they're so far below, what you said, 16 games below 500. I understand they're not going to win the championship, but they've certainly earned the right in a weaker East to get in contention, and I do want to see Bradley Beal in a a play-in situation against Orlando, or maybe if the Nets fall down deeper to that spot. That's something I'm looking forward to see. But I'm with you. From a health and safety standpoint, maybe they should have left them home, but from a deserve standpoint, they deserve. It's like saying that if you win in the weaker conference, you don't deserve to be in the finals. Well, they're the 9th rated team or ranked team in the Eastern Conference. That means that they deserve to be in this bubble and have a chance, and they're only 5 games behind. It's not like they're 10 games behind. They deserve to be in a bubble with an easy remaining schedule. They could have made the playoffs in the other situation, though it probably is unlikely.
Yeah, I agree with him. Like, since they're in the 9th seed, I guess, give them a chance. Who knows? But no, they're not gonna pass the Bucks, the Raptors, Celtics, the Heat. No, hell no. Without John Wall, Bertans, they don't have enough veterans in the team. No. Even if Bradley Beal scores like 50 points a game, no. Nope.
They could have. They deserve this chance. They don't deserve to have it stolen from them any more than any other team does.
So a couple of things, guys. They're 5.5 games behind, to be exact, okay? 5.5. And if you start getting into the layers of how this works, you look up who they're matched up against. They're matched. They have a chance to go against the Nets. And you actually look at their 8-game schedule, what they're allowed to have, and you have to match that up against the likes of Brooklyn. So, Brooklyn's in an interesting position here. No Kyrie Irving, obviously no Kevin Durant, Spencer Dinwiddie, Karis LeVert, 2 guys that obviously can excel this team. But their matchups are pretty hard. Their first 2 games, I think, are one is against Washington, another is against a team that's in the bottom. But then they play against the Celtics, then they play against the Bucks. Like the Brooklyn Nets could be an interesting situation if they actually start to spot.
Y'all just stay home, bro. Just stay home. Y'all don't need to go to Orlando for this nonsense.
Arrow the other way. There is a chance. Now, do I think the chance is great for Washington? No, definitely not without Davis Bertans. And this, he's had a phenomenal year. But I will say this, Stephen A. I know we like to look and talk about basketball from 100,000 feet up in the air, the top. But when you get into the nuances of watching the Washington Wizards play, if you got a chance, if you're a basketball fanatic, Stephen A., like I know you are, if you're a night, I know you do Wednesday nights on NBA, you watch some of these games. Have you watched this team play? They are exciting. It's a style of reckless abandon. So you can't tell me at the bottom, even without Davis Bertans, the fact that you got Bradley Beal, guy averaging 30, if they get hot with this team that they have, guys like Shabazz Napier that can go, I'm not saying they're going to do it, but it's going to be one hell of a style to watch because it will be entertaining to watch them have a chance to do it, considering where the bottom of the Eastern Conference is with the Nets and the Orlando Magic. They have a legit chance. I'm not saying they're going to do it, but they have a chance.
Okay, yeah, but especially with this pandemic, if I was Bradley Beal, I'd be like, nah, bro, I'll just stay home. There's no point. Because if the goal is to be in the playoffs, the Wizards don't have enough. They don't have enough to compete this year.